Hi, this is Rob Clemons with Crowning Connections. I'm here today at the Ground Zero facilities. Very excited. I'm here with Stephanie Sebring, and we're here to talk a little bit about the fact that we got the dragon boat races coming up this a couple weekends from now, and we're definitely a participant. We're excited to get out there and do some hard work with our team and enjoy it. But I wanted to get back to Ground Zero and talk about what's this all about and why are we doing this in the first place. So, Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. So Ground Zero is a teen ministry. We focus on middle school and high school students, and the Dragon Boat Festival is our largest fundraiser of the year. So it supports our general ministry budget all year long.
It's beautiful that you guys have done this great facility and that we're able to raise some money for the kids and all these good things. So if you would, let's take a tour of your building. We'll show the people what to expect.
Absolutely. Come on in.
Come on. Oh, you like that.
So when you walk in, you enter right away to our coffee shop. This is a place where when we have outreach events and when we have other civic and non-civic rentals, we open up our coffee shop and we provide our middle school and high schoolers with a free coffee drink as well as free food upstairs in Top Notch, which we'll get to.
Now that's really cool. So is it when you feed high schoolers and younger coffee and caffeine, how do they do with this? Is it like just a party automatically?
Well, that's why we do it at the beginning of the evening, so that when we send them home, they're pretty caffed up.
Oh, they're pretty.
Yeah,
all
the parents get to deal with that.
That's awesome. So if I were to go order like a double shot of caffeine right now, would that be a doable thing?
It's called espresso, and you would definitely be able to get that.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Well, my people, anybody who knows me knows I feed off of caffeine. You know,
Likewise.
At least 3 or 4 cups a day will be about right if I'm trying to keep it nice and calm, right?
Okay, that's a good ratio.
Super cool in here. I love it. Okay, so cool. What else?
So we're going to go on upstairs.
By the way, I love the little seating area here. This is a giant, is this what I think it is? It looks like a giant game of Jenga here.
It is.
Now, do we have time to play a full game here? I'm talking to the staff, no? Okay. All right, we don't have time for a full game, but how good are you at this, by the way?
I have played with teenagers. I have not played with adults, but there is physics to this, of course.
All right. Well, you know,
win.
I've shown that I can do it, right? Like, wouldn't it be funny if the whole thing toppled down the first time I tried that?
With one block?
Yeah, with just one block. That would be like a record of some sort. So, all right.
So this is our green room, and we have about 30 to 40 volunteers that help us when we have outreach events. So we've also got eyes on every place in the building where teenagers can be. That's for their safety. Our volunteers come in and put their items in a locker. This space that is currently holding the Dragon Boat Festival trophy.
Wait a minute. Hold on. All right, now we can't just stop there. This will be hopefully the Monarch Roofing trophy. That's what we're really hoping for. Fastest time of the day, yeah?
Fastest time of the day. So
my people are training right now. Like even as we're here, they're in a boat or somewhere rowing. Probably not. They're probably working on roofs. But either way, yeah.
Yeah, so this is where we keep all of the food for our volunteers. They check in, they get their credentials, their clipboard, and their walkie-talkie. We have about a 15 to 20 minute gathering where our president will share what's going on for the evening and what, if anything, is different about tonight than any other night, because we change things a lot.
Yeah.
If we identify something isn't working, we switch it up. So this is the volunteer green room.
Very, very cool. And by the way, I mean, I think it brings great comfort to anybody who, you know, if your kid was going here, for example, to know that, you know, they're monitored basically everywhere, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are.
Very nice.
So as you know, this used to be the old Rivoli Theater. So upstairs are projection rooms and other spaces that used to be utilized for the production of movies. This used to be a coat closet, and our missions teams that come from leader treks all summer long converted it into what we now use as a staff kitchen. Man,
this is a nice little efficient kitchen in here too, and I like the fact there's a Keurig up here, so just in case you didn't get your coffee fixed downstairs, you're gonna get it up here. Now, what is this, Stephanie? Is this have some significance? Is it a calendar?
It does. So we plan based on a school year. Mm-hmm. We run on a fiscal year from a budgetary standpoint, but this is our school calendar. So it shares every date on here is a Wednesday night because that's when we do our outreach. But it just kind of talks about what the focus is going to be, because when we have these outreach events, we sit the kids down for about a 15-minute video that talks about things that are relevant in their lives and what the Bible has to say about it.
Wow, that's very cool. And it looks like you guys are busy. That's the takeaway here, right? All right, got you. Yeah. And Stephanie makes it happen, so I think that's a beautiful thing.
Well, it's definitely a team effort for sure. So this is our workroom, and this is where we have a lot of the meetings and the planning. And one of the projects that we'd actually like to do is to blow out this wall, because you're standing above the lobby now. So there's additional office space that we would love to put above the lobby.
Okay,
so reduce
wow.
the headspace.
Now, do you get volunteers to help with those kinds of projects?
We do.
Yeah, okay.
Lots of in-kind, lots of donation.
Well, I mean, and that's something that I like people to know, if ultimately, the Home Builders Association people and people like that are out there, maybe looking to get some charity work in, it's not a bad idea. So we got, this is death by distraction, anything urgent that pulls you away from something that is important. That's death by distraction.
Yes.
I like the fact that you guys have these cool little sayings around the room. Now, who came up with all this stuff? Is this?
So that is all our president, Scott.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Scott's a very, he's a by the books guy. It sounds like he's got a lot of great ideas.
Intentional, and I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy working here, because it's very focused and very intentioned on what we're doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very cool.
Thank you. So offices are upstairs. Currently we have 5 staff. So just 5 people pull off this whole festival.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
amazing.
overwhelming. So this is the office area.
Hello.
And this is Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. How's it going? So is Rachel the friendly voice that greets everybody as they come in?
She is.
Oh, you got a nice smile, too. You seem like you enjoy it here, yeah?
I do. I've been here over 5 years, and I love it.
Now, are these your ducks? I just need to, because those are kind of cute, yeah?
I actually won one when we were on our trip last year, our retreat, and this one I found at Disney.
Oh, you found it at Disney. It's like, I guess that happens out at Disney. That's cool. Very cool. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So lots of office space. This is Lori. She's currently downstairs. She's our operations director. Holden is Scott and Kimberly's son. He's 21, but he is our ministry director.
Wow.
He's actually getting ready to leave for the Coast Guard full time, so we'll be having an open position.
That's so cool. I was going to ask you about that. That's so beautiful. If you can get a shot of that on the wall, that looks like somebody maybe made that for him or something. That's cool.
I think Scott and Kimberly got that as a gift made
nice.
for him when he graduated.
Very cool.
This is my space here. So this area over here is where we produce all of our videos. So
Wow.
Carly is our outreach director, but she also, by default, has been put in charge of filming and taking care of all of that.
I mean,
kind of thing.
this is a real operation here. It looks like a little Fortune 500 company you're running.
Oh, wait till you see what's next.
Okay, all right. Now, full disclosure, I've gotten a chance to go through here before, and this is actually probably my favorite room in the building.
Because it's food?
Well, food is always going to get to me, and plus there must be some coffee around here or something. I'm just kidding. But what I thought when I came in here is this has that vibe of like a 50s diner or something. That's kind of the vibe I got from here, but so cool the way you guys did the stuff on the wall and everything. So tell me, what is this room used for typically? I mean, obviously kids come up here, but what kind of things do you do in here?
So this is our cafeteria, top nosh. The definition of nosh is to eat with enthusiasm. So again, we're intentional and enthusiastic about everything that we do.
Nice.
So when the kids eat, we want them to eat in an area where it can be contained and cleaned up, because as good as they are, everyone has spills. But we wanted to also give them some familiarity of where they're transitioning from the end of their school day to ground zero.
And plus, if you're eating with enthusiasm, I mean, it sounds messy.
It can be very
It's like not just eating, but with enthusiasm. Well, I love the fact you guys had a very, like I said, it's kind of got that old school feel, but it's got a lot of modern stuff. And I didn't know the definition of noshing. Mm-hmm. Is this like in the dictionary, or is this like a local? Oh, okay,
yeah.
Noshing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and nosh
Not
tonight.
Gnashing, but noshing.
Noshing,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Big
Sure. Difference.
That's cool. And I see you have a Nintendo Switch on the wall over here.
We have so many digital games.
Now, would I be able to compete with my staff on this later to enforce that I am still the video game king of this company?
I was going to say, only if you're willing to be beaten, because I guarantee you some of your staff, that's their downtime.
Oh yeah, no, you're right on this, but that's really, really great. I love it. Awesome.
So this is our patio out here. We have we consider it to be an additional eating space. This was actually built, and the whole building was renovated from 2011 to 2014. So it took 3 years and almost $2 million plus, because we've made so many changes to the building since it's been open in 2014. So this facility will hold about 1,000 people, standing only. So we do rent the facility out to civic and non-civic groups. There is an application process that they have to go through with me. And if it's approved, then we'll go ahead and have different events here. We've hosted a lot.
I mean, I tell you, we talked about maybe even us renting this out sometime.
Yeah.
Great place for a team building gathering, or just maybe a team party of some sort. Very cool. Now, do you have some before pictures of this building before all this renovation happened?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put you in touch with Scott. He can share all of that with you.
And then there's ping pong down here. Right?
Not only is there ping pong, this is almost like competitive ping pong. So our kids get pretty serious about ping pong.
I'll bet you, I can see, Stephanie, are you one of those people that's standing like 20 feet away from the table and just whipping the ball back at stuff?
If I were, I probably wouldn't be here doing the interview.
Doing Olympic ping pong or something, right?
Exactly.
Well, this is cool. It looks like a whole production, like you're going to the theater or something. So
yeah, and we have tried to maintain some of the integrity of the original theater. So we have some of the old seats in there.
Cool.
So let's go downstairs. We'll kind of show you the main room.
All right. And by the way, can I go ahead and get some chicken wings while I'm here? Is that okay? No, not
You're
that kind of a.
hours too early.
Oh, okay, got you. We'll come back later.
So as I mentioned, because we're a facility that is a concert venue, we have a very high-tech AV sound and light system. So our production booth is manned by not only our employees, but also by the students that we train in order to operate these things.
Hi, guys.
Carly, Savannah, say
Man.
hey.
So this is where all the magic happens, really. These guys are like the brains of this whole thing.
Yes,
Okay.
very much so.
Gotcha. What's your favorite part of the job here?
I love being able to manipulate all the graphics in the video.
Hey, it's a good part. Yeah, got you. Now, is it true that like I could basically learn how to do this right now and do better than you guys? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sure you guys would run circles around me. That's very cool. That's awesome. Well, good to meet you guys.
So the biggest game, the biggest draw of the evening is usually 9 square in the air. So I don't know if you're familiar with that game, but it's a ball, and there's 9 people. Each person stands in a square, and they try to defend their square. So if you can't defend your square, you get thrown out, and you got to circle back around and get in line to defend your square again.
Wow.
The goal is to get in the middle and keep that middle square defended.
So I would love to see that happening in person. Maybe we can come back later on when this is actually going down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so then we end the night with everyone seated, and again, we share a little bit of video time with them. We have Carly and Holden, who I mentioned earlier, sitting on stage, just kind of talking back and forth about some things that are really important that the kids are going through.
Gotcha.
So our goal is really just to give them hope. We try to transform their futures by cultivating their faith. So giving them some different messaging. One of the things that the captain said to me today was, we're trying to recruit some more people, but they think they've got to be trained and they think they have to be really strong. And I said, that presents a really unique opportunity for us to talk about the fact that it's not strength and muscling through. It's being willing to get on the boat and being very in sync with the people that you're in front of, and not smacking the person in the head behind you with the paddle.
Absolutely.
But seriously, being in alignment with one another and being willing to get in the boat and row beside someone. So if you're in sync, that's going to get you across the finish line a whole lot faster. And that's what we try to teach the kids is you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the greatest. You don't have to step over top of people to fulfill your purpose in life. You just have to be willing to join in and walk side by side with the people that you have in your life every single day.
And maybe put in a little hard work.
Put in a little hard work.
That's
show
awesome.
up. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's funny when you go to the, because we've done this a few years in a row with Monarch Roofing, and when you go out there, you can see the boats that are moving really fast, and they're always the ones that are in sync. And it's not the biggest, strongest guys either. It's the ones who are really in sync with each other. So that's really cool. What are the age ranges of the kids that are out here?
So middle school and high school.
Okay.
So sometimes that age is different.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
Middle school and high school. school.
So that would put, the youngest would be here? Maybe
Like
sixth
12,
grade? Okay,
yeah,
like 12 years
yeah.
old, okay.
12 to 18.
Was there ever a story that you experienced with any particular kid? I'm sure you got a lot of them, so it may be
We
too
do.
hard to, but was there any one story that just it would inspire you that you're just like, wow, I saw this person come from this level to this level, or does that happen every day? So
It does happen a lot, but they're in such small quantities, and
Yeah.
one of the more outward-facing names changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah.
A gentleman by the name of John, high school student, had always been acting up here during our video time. It's supposed to be a quiet time, and just always acting up. And our policy is we'll walk you out and have you sit at the front until your parent comes if you can't maintain, some level of decorum in here.
Sure.
Well, a couple times this had happened, and the third week that it happened, our president had walked out with 2 bottles of water and 2 cookies, sat out on the curb with this young man, and just said, hey, what's going on? Is there a reason you can't sit still? Is there a reason you're agitated? Most kids, sometimes they don't even talk to you, but this individual showed Scott something on his phone, and it was an Horry County school website where anonymously kids can post things. And the post that he was showing Scott was about him, and it was saying something negative. So, all of the anger, all of the frustration that Scott was feeling because this person wasn't being able to, maintain some decorum in a group setting, literally just melted.
Wow.
And you come side by side with these kids and you learn what they're dealing with, and ever since then, he's been a totally changed kid. I saw him come and open his arms wanting to give Scott a hug one night. And I'm like, see, those are small changes.
That's awesome.
And it is awesome because now that person knows there's someone here who's really invested and they really care about him, and he can pull Scott aside at any time and talk about anything. And I would bet that that's probably not something he's got outside of Ground Zero. To be able
Absolutely.
to have a safe place to come.
It's amazing. It's about trust, right? So
is.
you start with a place like this, you bring them in, bring them around some other kids their age, but sometimes it's that one little reach out that makes all the difference, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so did we catch everything while we were here? I see a stage left. That's pretty neat. And
That's our merch store.
Okay.
And there is a lot backstage.
Sure.
We have actually an artist green room, similar to the volunteer green room, but it's an actual full apartment with showers, laundry facilities, everything for our artists or anyone else who comes to speak to stay with their family, so that they can kind of get out of the limelight, but just kind of prepare to perform.
That's awesome. Can
Yeah.
we look at the merchandise, or
Yeah,
is that like
absolutely.
okay?
Oh my gosh, sure.
I
Come
think it would be
on
really
in.
cool because the last time I was here, it kind of blew me away. I felt like I was at Disney World a little bit, and I'm sure the kids must feel like that.
They do. So this is our merch store, and we use this for two
Whoa.
purposes. Yeah.
I mean, like, that's
summer
so cool.
concert series.
Yeah.
These are all of the guitars, some of them, and the artist signed the guitars, and they were here from our summer concert series.
Man, this is really exciting. So we're, we were actually just talking about guitars earlier because this year we're sponsoring the Country Music Festival,
Oh,
the Carolina
fun.
Country, and we were talking about guitars and all this. So guys, see, here's our inspiration. right. That's very cool. I was trying to tell them I wanted to do electric guitar, but they said, no, you got to go acoustic. It's country music, right?
Yeah.
All right,
for
well,
sure.
I'd see, so I lose.
So,
That's
in
awesome.
addition to being able to sell merchandise from here, what we use this for is when we have a first-time guest come to our outreach event, they come back here to stage left. They fill out all their information. We take their photograph. This is part of our check-in and our safety and security procedure. So we know who's in the building. We know when they're leaving. So then the tokens that you see, one is for free coffee, one is for free food.
Oh my God!
So we
like,
give them
totally.
tokens.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, no, but that's
And-
kind of cool. Look
yeah,
check
and
that
it's-
out. Like free coffee. That's like world class right there. I like it.
Well, and it's always free to them, but first-time guests, we want to give them that extra
Sure.
feel of, here you go.
Yeah.
And then we can communicate with them what events we have coming. So April 20th, we actually have a really cool Your Year night. So we will have the streets blocked off. There are 30 different employers that are going to be coming here to give the kids an opportunity to think ahead, talk about what's next, what's
Wow.
after high school,
Cool.
and then present some potential employment opportunities.
That's
So,
great. Have you
yeah.
got that all filled up? I mean, are all the employees spoken for, the employers?
You would have to talk to Holden, and I can
Okay.
put you in touch for
Well,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
a great tip. I mean, we'd love to take part in that if there's any room left.
Okay.
It sounds like you've done a good job filling it up for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is great. I mean, I love like some of the gear that they have here. If you guys can kind of pan in on this, and just neat stuff all around. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's great. Well, beautiful.
We're in the process of restocking with some new designs. And so we're kind of depleting the inventory that we have, and we're working with another supplier to get all this stuff situated. So
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So tell us what, if you're maybe a parent out there or somebody that's looking and thinking, I might want to get my kid involved with this, what would be the first steps for them?
just show up.
Just show up.
Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8:30. Parents are not allowed in the building, so if you want your child to attend and you're curious about all of this, we welcome you to come in outside of those hours. Maybe come and drop them off a little early. We'll give you a tour and let you introduce yourself to the staff and maybe talk to you a little bit about maybe whatever concerns you have. But yeah, just show up because there's no requirement other than to be age 12 to 18.
Man, that's so cool. So let's go back over those dates again. So you said April 20th. That's the big event out here. You block off the street, have some employers kind of give these kids a good jump start in life. I love that. That's amazing. And then any Wednesday night.
Any Wednesday night.
At 6:30?
6:30 to 8:30.
8:30, all right, sounds good. Well, this has been amazing, Stephanie. I appreciate it. You guys do a great thing at Ground Zero. I welcome anybody that's out there and interested. Come on out, get out to the place. Come see us at the Dragon Boat races.
Yes, and we're so thankful for your sponsorship. Thank you,
man.
thank you.
It's always great. Well, Stephanie, good to see you as always.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
And this is Rob Clemons signing out with Crowning Connections. We'll see you next time.